The observation deck overlooked the containment arena, where 36 species representatives watched in horrified fascination. Dr. HFY stood alone in the center of the reinforced cage, hands clasped behind his back, studying the creature that had killed 17 trainers across 4 star systems. Core was magnificent in the way a supernova was magnificent, beautiful, terrible, and absolutely lethal. The apex cub stood nearly 3 meters tall even in its juvenile form, its obsidian carapace rippling with bioluminescent patterns that signaled aggression. 6 eyes, each the size of a human fist, tracked Dr. Rel's every micro-movement. Its mandibles clicked in a rhythm that xenobiologists had identified as a precursor to violent action. Dr. Rel, the Valtorian overseer's voice crackled through the comm implant. The Council has authorized immediate termination protocols. You have 10 seconds to exit the arena. HFY didn't move. He simply kept watching Core, his expression neutral, almost meditative. 5 seconds, Doctor. The apex cub lunged. It moved faster than anything that large had a right to move, closing 15 meters in less than a heartbeat. Its talons, each capable of shearing through battleship armor, swept toward HFY's throat in an arc that had decapitated a Krovenian warlord just 3 cycles ago. HFY stepped aside, not quickly, not desperately, just aside, as if he'd known exactly where the attack would come from, exactly when, exactly how. His movement was economical, efficient, wasting not a single joule of energy. Core's momentum carried it past him, and the creature spun with impossible agility, its tail whipping around to catch what its claws had missed. The spiked appendage could punch through concrete. HFY ducked, still unhurried, and placed one hand gently on Core's flank as the tail passed overhead. The touch lasted barely a second. Core froze. In the observation deck, voices erupted in a dozen languages, all expressing the same sentiment. Impossible. The apex cub's bioluminescence shifted from aggressive red to confused amber. Its 6 eyes refocused, all locking onto the human who had somehow touched it without triggering its predatory instincts. Core circled slower now, its massive head lowering to keep HFY in view. Fascinating, HFY murmured, just loud enough for the comm to pick up. You're not actually aggressive. You're terrified. He sat down cross-legged, in the center of the arena, completely exposed. Dr. HFY sat down and waited. The observation deck fell silent. Core's mandibles clicked rapidly. Confusion. The xenobiologist would later note not aggression. The cub approached cautiously, each footfall shaking the reinforced floor. It could end the human with a single bite. Everyone watching knew it. HFY knew it. He remained perfectly still, hands resting on his knees, eyes meeting Core's central pair with steady calm. The apex cub's head came within centimeters of HFY's face. Its breath, hot and smelling of ozone, washed over him. One of its lesser eyes examined the human's throat, where the pulse point beat steadily. No fear spike, no adrenaline surge. Just a human sitting, watching, waiting. Core made a sound it had never made before, a low resonant vibration that started deep in its thorax and emerged as something between a purr and a whine. Its bioluminescence flickered uncertainly. You killed them because they were afraid of you, HFY said softly, and their fear made you more afraid. Predator and prey locked in a cycle neither of you wanted. He raised one hand slowly, telegraphing every movement. Core's eyes tracked it, but the cub didn't retreat. HFY's fingers made contact with the creature's carapace, just below its primary sensory cluster. He scratched. The sound Core made then would be studied for decades, a complex vocalization that combined submission, relief, and something that might have been joy. The massive predator's legs buckled slightly, and it pressed its head more firmly against HFY's hand. There you are, the human said, a small smile touching his lips. Just a frightened child, aren't you? In the observation deck, the Valtorian overseer's scales had gone pale. This is Dr. Rel, how did you know? HFY continued scratching behind Core's sensory cluster. And the apex cub, the creature that had been sentenced to termination, that had been deemed too dangerous to exist, settled onto the arena floor beside him with a contented rumble. Humans have been training predators for thousands of years, HFY replied. We understand something that many species forget. The difference between a killer and a predator isn't capacity for violence. It's fear. He looked up at the observation deck, his eyes finding the Valtorian overseer. Core didn't kill those trainers because it was aggressive. It killed them because it sensed their fear and responded to the threat it represented. Every being that entered this arena came prepared to defend themselves, already halfway convinced they would die. And so they did. Core's bioluminescence had shifted to a deep, peaceful blue. The cub's breathing had slowed, synchronized with Aitsam's own. Your species, the overseer said slowly, deliberately breeds with predators on your homeworld. The xenopsychology report suggested this was a dominance behavior. Aitsam laughed quietly. We call them dogs, cats, horses, and we don't dominate them, we partner with them. There's a difference, he stood, and Core rose with him, staying close to the human side. The apex cub that had terrorized 4 star systems now moved like a shadow beside Dr. Aitsam Rel, its aggressive patterns gone, replaced by attentive calm. Core doesn't need to be terminated, Aitsam said firmly. It needs to be understood. Trained properly, with respect instead of fear, this creature could be dangerous, the overseer interrupted. Remarkable, Aitsam finished. Humans didn't become apex predators on Earth by being the strongest or the fastest. We became apex predators by turning other apex predators into family. He scratched Core's carapace again, and the massive creature leaned into his touch, a soft whine of contentment emerging from its throat. That, Aitsam said, is the human advantage. We don't just survive dangerous things, we befriend them. The council would debate for 3 cycles before reaching their decision. But in that moment, watching a human stand calmly beside a creature that should have killed him, they all understood why humanity's expansion through the stars had been so remarkably peaceful. It wasn't that humans weren't dangerous. It was that they made even the dangerous things love them.